My revenge on the commuter who stole my spot. I've been taking the same bus to work for years, but it wasn't until yesterday that I realized how little we commuters respect each other's personal space. Every morning, without fail, a man in his late 50s with a thick beard would claim the front seat as soon as he boarded the bus, pushing anyone who dared to sit there off onto a less desirable spot. As I watched him do it again this morning, something inside me snapped. Maybe it was the early wake-up call, or maybe it was just the cumulative effect of years of being pushed around, but whatever it was, it gave me an idea. I decided right then and there that I would take back my spot. I got off at my stop, walked to a nearby coffee shop, and ordered a large coffee with extra cream. As I waited for my drink, I thought about how I could execute my plan without getting into trouble. I didn't want to get kicked off the bus or arrested for harassment. But at the same time, I was determined to stand up for myself. I took a sip of my coffee and headed back out onto the street. The bus was still waiting at the stop, its engine idling as it waited for passengers. I boarded the bus and made my way down the aisle, scanning the seats, until I spotted the man with the beard sitting in my spot. He looked up and caught my eye, but he didn't move. He just sat there, sipping on his own coffee and looking smug. I felt a surge of anger at him, but I took a deep breath and tried to calm down. This wasn't my chance to take back what was mine. I walked up to the front seat and stood there for a moment, trying to decide how to proceed. The man with the beard looked up at me again, this time with a hint of annoyance in his eyes. I could tell he was waiting for me to do something, but I just stood there, frozen. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, I spoke up. "Excuse me," I said, trying to sound as calm and polite as possible. "I think you're sitting in my seat." The man with the beard looked at me incredulously. "What are you talking about?" he asked, his voice dripping with condescension. "I'm talking about this seat right here," I said, trying to point without being too aggressive. "It's mine. I've been sitting here for years." The man with the beard snorted. "You think you can just claim a seat on a bus? That's not how it works, buddy." I felt my anger rising again, but I tried to keep my cool. "Actually," I said, "I think I can. This is a public transportation system, and the seats are available on a first-come, first-served basis. If no one else has claimed this seat by the time I board the bus, then it's mine." The man with the beard looked at me like I was crazy. "You're really going to argue about this?" he asked. "I'm not arguing," I said. "I'm stating a fact. And if you don't get up and let me sit down, then we'll have a problem." The man with the beard looked at me for a long moment, then finally stood up and moved to the back of the bus. I sat down in my seat, feeling a sense of satisfaction and vindication. As the bus continued on its route, I couldn't help but feel a little proud of myself. I had stood up for what was mine, and I had come out on top. But as I looked around at the other passengers, I realized that they were all staring at me, some with curiosity, some with amusement, and some with disdain. I felt a pang of embarrassment and regret. Maybe I had been too aggressive, or maybe I had just been too loud. Whatever it was, I knew that I had made a scene, and now everyone on the bus knew about my little confrontation. As we approached my stop, I stood up to get off the bus. The man with the beard was still sitting in the back, looking at me with a mixture of anger and resentment in his eyes. I felt a twinge of guilt for having caused him so much trouble, but I also knew that I had done what I needed to do. I got off the bus and walked away, feeling a sense of relief and closure. I had taken back my spot, and I had stood up for myself. But as I looked back at the bus driving away, I couldn't help but wonder if it was all worth it.